it's Kimberly for BBC News. Today we are going to speak about the textile and chemistry. Let's see the contents. First, we have the weather with Gigi. Then we will assist to a meeting on the SLE and textile. And finally, we will see an experiment and we will speak about the sport and textile. Today, chemistry and textile are closely linked with the emergence of synthetic fiber, much more resistant, soft. The field of chemistry and textile are constantly requested for all activities like textile clothing and accessories specific to this application. Today, the textile needs the latest technology enabling the creation of different materials and higher quality. France is the second country of textile production in the Europe. We have a turnover of 4 billion euros. Perhaps you don't know that without chemistry we won't have all this type of clothes. For instance, some molecules important in chemistry are polyester, polyethylene, alcohol, polyvinyl, polyamide. But before speak and see some reports about the textile, we have to see the state of France in this file. It's your turn, Gigi.
Hello everybody, my name is Gigi and today we are going to speak about the textile weather. So as you know, France is the second country of textile production in the EU. Let's see the map. Today it is sunshine on Lille and Lyon, as you can see. There are two competitive poles with research institutes, many companies and textile schools, for instance HUI in Lille or ITEC in Lyon. In the east, there is a slight line of companies and institute research. It's time to go in holidays here. In the south, we can see some flag of companies, but in Britain, we can see a big fog. It is time for this area to develop themselves. Today, it is St. Gertrude, the spinning worker cent. It is all for the moment. See you after the TV news.
Thank you, Gigi, for your presentation. So, now after knowing the situation of France, we can speak about some particular application of chemistry in textile. But before, make a point of this application with this report.
In different kind of textile. We can find chemistry in sport textile, medical textile, industry, transport. Textile in Europe has changed. The techniques is the same, but the raw material change. We can use chemical components like polyvinylic or polyamide, metal, and even ceramic. You know, textile is very important in your life, to dress, yes, but to protect, to transport, to treat. For instance, the firemen need chemistry for the threat against the fire. For this we use fibers metal aramide. These fibers are resistant against the fire. And for best mechanic resistance, we use paraamide. There is a lot of work accidents. For protect themselves, the employees use gloves. These gloves are constituted of polyethylene, aramide, and glass fibers. Against the electricity, we use specific glosses. They are constituted of conductress metallic fibers. So we could see that chemistry helped to improve the textile to protect themselves, but textile could also improve our capacity. For the sportsmen, it is indispensable to have glosses which permit to evacuation of the sweat. For this, we use the induction technique. A textile is covered polymers, resins, vinyl, polychlorure, polyurethane, and elastomer. The textile is really useful for the healthy. Chemistry permits to make bandage close surgeon. The research is working on intelligent textile. In fact, temperature sensor can be inserted in clothes in order to control a baby's temperature. We can cut the emission of portal wave, also partly enter in-house composite. Researchers have a long days before them.
Okay, now we have two reports on specific subject. We will go to listen Mrs. Charlotte Labos. She is a company chef and we will assist to her meeting with her employees.
Leaf snaps shut in just a fraction of a second. the tips locked together like prison bars.
Oops! Sorry, my technician have made a mistake. No, we will see the good reports, please.
Hello, we will see some applications of chemistry and textile in various fields. So I introduce myself. I'm Charlotte Labrousse and I'm in research and development, and this area applied to health. Yep, textiles are much used in medical and hygiene. They combine strength with lightness flexibility, which gives them a good compatibility with the body. There are three different types of textile sector in which textile acts. To answer hygiene, take care for and improve comfort, but also to heal life. Well, let's textile to answer hygiene. Here they represent consumer products and are found mainly in supermarkets. There are, for example, baby diapers and adult weight wipes. It may also include single-use products used in hospitals. The raw materials must combine the ability to absorb liquids and soft to the touch of the human body. The textile industry to treat and improve comfort include products whose distribution is quite wide but must be controlled by the CE marking attesting the good quality. Thus, in this category, prosthetics, orthotics and splinting products, belts, stockings, knee, neck, elbow, but there are also dressing and post-operative garments. We will be able to move to the third point I mentioned, namely textiles to save lives. There are very sophisticated products whose very survival depends on users, such as artificial arteries that need to ensure good blood flow or the reinforcement to the parietal wall. These are products that are found in limited quantities. In the latter case, it must at all costs that the quality is impeccable, reliable and long-lasting, and of course biocompatible. For example, Cousine Biotech produced a limited series of surgical implants for hernia repair, strengthen ligaments and post-vascular prosthesis. So I want you to find an experimental procedure because I want to integrate the textile in her researches. I show you how to make a nylon thread.
And it is to do what?
Good question, Sheila. It's to make compression stockings. Thank you to BBF for being here, and in few months you will see our new products and supermarkets. Goodbye and thank you for listening.
To synthesize 6 nylon, we need 1,6-hexandiamine and sebasoical chloride. We pour in a beaker the 1,6-hexandiamine, and very slowly we add the sebacoyl chloride. We can see an interface. It's the place of the synthesis. With a piece of metal we can catch the nylon made on the interface. We can see the fiber of nylon. After washing, we have the fiber.
Thank you, Mrs. Labrousse, to permit us to observe this meeting. It was very interesting. My reporter wants to interview a specialist on sports textile. We will see that.
Hello, here Kimberly, reporter for BBC News. Today we are going to meet Mr. Bellet, director of a company developing technical textile for sport and recreation sector. Hello, Mr. Bellet. Could you present yourself, please?
Good evening. So, I am Nicolas Bellet. As you said, I am a director of Megasport. I have worked in this field for 10 years. and it is a field where the innovation is necessary. There is lots of things that we need to improve and to discover.
Can you justify us the use of technical textile in your file?
Because it improves the comfort, safety and performance thanks to the lightness, the abrasion resistance and tear, their waterproof quality and their permeability to perspiration, technical textiles have many applications in sport and recreation. They are components of clothing becoming more sophisticated and tailored to each sport. Height gain and rigidity improvement or the flexibility allowing to optimize the performance of those who wear them.
And could you enlighten us on what represents the technical textile market in your file?
As you can see from this diagram, the field of sports and recreation represents 15% of the application of technical textiles and ranks as the second sector as plaintiff.
And in what kind of products of daily life can we find this technical textile?
We can find application in different sectors. The sportswears, as we have said previously, of which technical performance are important. We can quote examples of tissue anti-friction, from clothing for cyclists to swimsuits, but also textile content of items used during sport activity such as rackets in textile composites, surfboard, sails, or even the gym mats. And finally, items of outdoors activities such as tents for camping or mountain equipment.
What are the most important properties that need the products for each of these files?
Regarding the sportswear, the most important property is the hygrothermal regulation. It is necessary that the clothing is waterproof and breathable. As regards of outdoor items, those are the property of resistance and antibacterial rule. And about of sport equipment, it is necessary that they are flexible, elastic, resistant, washable, and they incorporate a UV protection, and that are fire resistant.
And from what processes or chemicals do you get the expected properties?
The balance between warmth and breathability is provided by the introduction of polyester and a hydrophilic substance, allowing the diffusion and wicking. The thermal insulation may also come from a carbon brush on the outside of the mesh, and the use of a polyamide hot trick. The use of polyamide also allows a good rub resistance. This property can also be made by polyester. The elasticity comes from the use of spandex. And finally, the resistance is given by a tighter mesh and a UV resistance to the use of olefins.
And could you give us some example, please?
Yes, no problem. For instance, wool have a good isolant power, great capacity of absorption of moisture. The polyamide is a natural anti-odor. The acrylic permits a pleasant touch of clothing. The polyester is hydrophobic. That is very useful.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bellet, for answering our question.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you, Mr. Bellet. It's all for today. I hope you have learned something and mainly you have been interested. Next week we will speak about the fly. See you soon. It was Kimberly for BBC News.